improves the survival in some patients afflicted with. If you recently had a heart attack, heart-related surgery, or been diagnosed with stable angina or heart disease, the Heart Strides Cardiac Rehabilitation Program can help restore your physical strength and endurance and improve your overall health. Please join us in congratulating the top finishers, Steven Anderson, Chase Ramey, and Will Boughton. And the top 3 female finishers, Michelle Lutz, Candace Fouts, and Alicia Smith. Congratulations on your blazing fast times, and thank you for supporting your local hospital. Wake Forest Baptist Health wants you to know that heart disease is the leading cause of death in women and men. That's why getting regular checkups is so important. Your family doctors can identify any health concerns you may have early before heart disease sets in. If you need a family doctor, visit wakehealth.edu or call 336-878-MD for you today.
Good evening and welcome to BB&T Point. Here's the High Point Rockers have another home baseball game here tonight, one of their final 3 of the 2019 season. Rockers, Patriots, Saturday night, post-game fireworks. Does it get any better? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kendrick Fruits, happy to be here with you this evening as usual and ready for another exciting edition of High Point Rockers baseball. The Rockers come into tonight with a 5-game winning streak. Their longest of the year is 7, so could potentially reach that or tie it tomorrow. Could eclipse it on Saturday, or Monday, I should say. Really excited to be here with you this evening. We've got a great one in store for you as the Rockers and the Somerset Patriots do battle night number 2 out of a 4-game series. This one's a big one for the Somerset Patriots. This is a team that I expect to be playing with their backs against the wall. If the Rockers win tonight, the Somerset Patriots are officially eliminated from postseason contention. So Somerset knows that they are absolutely out of chances, out of a grace period, I should say. They have to win tonight and everything forward and hope they get a lot of help from the High Point Rockers. So the Rockers could go ahead and take care of the Patriots with a win tonight. We'll be keeping a close eye on the New Britain Bees and the Sugarland Skeeters. They're in the middle of a very important series right now that could change the magic number for the Rockers not once but twice in the course of this evening. So we will keep an eye on that and give you that information as we go. As Fan Appreciation Weekend continues, doing representing or recognizing some of the host families here this morning or this afternoon. And the Rockers getting set for tonight's contest. But how about a bit of exciting news? Some news that was released a little while ago, maybe 2 or 3 hours ago at this point. The return of a High Point Rocker All-Star. That's right, Tyler Ladendorf is back with the High Point Rockers after spending some time with the Durham Bulls, AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. Not only is Ladendorf back, but he is in the lineup at second base and batting in the number 7 spot tonight as he gets reacclimated to the Atlantic League. So what are the Rockers getting back from, or what are they getting here in Tyler Ladendorf? A guy that hit .272, 12 home runs, 42 driven in while he was here. Perfect 8 for 8 in stolen bases, very patient at the plate. A pretty complete hitter and a good fielder as well. So a huge addition or re-addition, if you will, for the High Point Rockers. And we're certainly glad to have Tyler Ladendorf back this evening. Craig Stem will be making the start for the High Point Rockers. He's been nothing short of brilliant since he has joined the team. He's a guy that started the year with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. He was an all-star for Southern Maryland. Went to the Mexican League for a little while and then came back to the Atlantic League with the High Point Rockers. Went 4 2/3 in his first start, gave up just 1 hit, striking out 9. And then his last start, which came last Sunday, against the Somerset Patriots, went 7 shutout innings in that one. In fact, Liam O'Sullivan versus Craig Stim, tonight's starting pitching matchup, the exact same pitching matchup that was that were sent out to the field at Patriots Park in Bridgewater, New Jersey, back on Sunday. So these guys should be pretty familiar with each other at this juncture. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about last night really quickly so we can get into today. Somerset jumped out to a 1-0 lead on the RBI double by Jimmy Paredes in the first inning last night, but the Rockers came back with a vengeance, scoring a couple runs in the third, a solo home run by Jared Mitchell in the fifth, another home run by Jared Mitchell the inning later, so the Rockers end up taking yesterday's game by a final of 5-1. Jared Mitchell, those 2 home runs, also stole his 30th base of the year, and as he was the main offensive catalyst for the Rockers yesterday, I sat down with Jared Mitchell before the game today to talk a little bit about last night's game and the preview the games coming forward. So here is my sit down with Jared Mitchell. Of the year, and then 2 home runs as well, all key parts in helping the Rockers win. Just walk me through yesterday. You were obviously really locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten good work in the past couple of days, and that stuff kind of translates over to the game when you're doing it right. And so it's kind of, I think it's easy to go through the middle of the season and just kind of almost in a way get work in, but not really pay attention to the details of what you're doing. And you're coming down the season, you want to end the season right. We're over here on a playoff push, and you're trying to bear down on the things that we're doing over here. So I think that the work the last couple of days have been where I wanted it to be, and I think it's showing up in the game.
Obviously, it's easy to keep things light when you're winning and playing well, but I saw, especially as you were rounding the bases the second time, everybody's all smiling and excited and everything. And how important is that to be loose and having fun in that playoff push? Because I feel like it could be really easy to get bogged down in all the importance of it, but you guys look really loose out there.
I mean, it's important at any time of the season, honestly, man. It's a long season, and whether it's early in the year, middle of the year, late in the year, playoff time, whatever it is, if you sit there and you try to put too much pressure on yourself, it's hard to actually go out there and perform. So I think that's one thing we got going for us is we have a really, really, really loose clubhouse through the losing streaks, through the winning streaks, and hopefully we get a chance to clinch here soon, and that stuff like that will carry us through the postseason.
So I don't know, as far as some of the teams you played for in the minor leagues, have you been in a postseason situation before, or any experience that you can draw off of going into this playoff push?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to win a couple championships, man. So I mean, it's been good, to be able to bring, I guess, that kind of experience towards the team. If guys want to talk about it and ask about, like what situations are like. I mean, I've been lucky enough to deal with some of that stuff before. But yeah, dude, I mean, like the more you got of guys that have kind of done stuff, like things like it helps you. And that's, we got a pretty good clubhouse of guys doing stuff like that, so it's good.
Last question for you. Liam O'Sullivan's pitching today, a 5-9 record, but a really good ERA, just doesn't get a whole lot of run support. So I know you guys have been looking over the pitchers and the reports and everything. What is the key to get to Liam O'Sullivan today?
Get to him when he gets in the zone. He's definitely one that likes to mix up things a lot. He'll pitch around the edges of the zones. We have to be pretty disciplined at the plate and get him over the plate, and don't miss when you get a pitch in the zone.
Thanks, Jared. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.
That was High Point Rockers outfielder Jared Mitchell and his thoughts on last night's game and thoughts on games tonight. Jared Mitchell will be leading off and playing center field for the second night in a row. Let's go ahead and set the batting orders for you as we're a couple moments away from the national anthem, so we can go ahead and give you that information. We'll start with the visiting Somerset Patriots. Leading off, Scott Kelly. He'll be in center field tonight. He was at second yesterday. Batting second will be the first baseman, Will Kinger. Olmo Rosario in left field will bat third. Jimmy Paredes will play back cleanup and play third base. Mike Ullman, the designated hitter, did not see him last night, but he's in the game in the 5 slot as the designated hitter. Alfredo Rodriguez, the shortstop, will bat 6th. Ray Navarro, second base, will bat 7th. Michael Kraus in right field will bat 8th. And catching tonight will be Yovan Gonzalez, and batting in the number 9 spot. Liam O'Sullivan, mentioned him a little bit in the interview with Jared Mitchell, the starting pitcher tonight for the Somerset Patriots. And do not base your thoughts on Liam O'Sullivan off of his win-loss record. He is 5-9 this year, but an ERA of 3.11, which instantly tells me he gets some bad luck in terms of run support. Liam O'Sullivan, a very good pitcher on this Somerset team. He just happens to pitch on days where the offense doesn't score a whole lot of runs. So the Rockers will certainly have their work cut out for them tonight. And the lineup that Jamie Keefe sends out to face Liam O'Sullivan looks a little something like this. Leading off in center field will be Jared Mitchell, batting second. And playing first base, Stephen Cardulo. Batting third and playing third is Hector Gomez. The cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Quincy Lattimore. Richie Schaefer in left field again tonight. He'll be batting fifth. Michael Russell, the shortstop, will bat in the number 6 slot. And Tyler Ladendorf making his return back to the Atlantic League, will be playing second base, batting in the number 7 slot. John Nestor behind the dish tonight. He will bat 8th. And Giovanni Alfonso will play right field and bat 9th. Alfonso went 0 for 4 yesterday, but had a 2-hit game the evening before, so he's a guy who's been swinging a really good bat. And there's a conversation that I had with someone earlier today talking about, first off, you're extremely excited to get that re-edition of Tyler Ladendorf, and you're super excited to have him back. But, between Russell and Alfonso and Schroeder, who can play some second base, and Gomez, who can play some third, you're going to have to move some guys around at this point, and somebody's going to have to give up some playing time. And how are they going to balance that? Well, they are able to balance it tonight by moving Cardulo to first base again, and Giovanni Alfonso goes to play in right field. So that is the method for this evening. The Rockers send Craig Stem to the mound, the 2019 Atlantic League All-Star. He made the All-Star team with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, was 4-3 as a Blue Crab, ended up picking up a victory with the Rockers so far. So he is 5-3 on the year, a 2.46 earned run average this year. So the pitching matchup tonight certainly looks like it will be a good one. Now, I mentioned the New Britain Bees. Here's the situation. The Bees just dropped their first of a doubleheader. So your magic number for the Rockers to clinch the playoffs is now 5. It was 6 coming into today, but it's now 5. Bees going to play a second one tonight. So it could be as low as 3 if they drop the second one and the Rockers win. So we will keep an eye on that as the evening goes along. The Rockers are taking the field now as we get ready for the national anthem. We'll send it down to the field, and when we come back, we'll have first pitch and Rockers baseball next.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America and those who protect her both at home and abroad. And join us in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Caitlin Burr with the Heart and Soul Choir from the Ark of Highport.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous
for Caitlin Burke and the Heart and Soul Choir from Ark of High Point.
Craig Stem getting ready to toss his warm-up pitches here this evening. Give you a little information on the Rockers hurler tonight. 6'5", 215-pound right-hander from Hermitage, Tennessee. This is his 9th professional season across majors, minors, other independent leagues, and such. As a professional, 34-44 record, 4.31 earned run average. This is a guy, while he was in the minor league ranks of organized baseball, spent almost the entirety of that portion of his career as a relief pitcher. In fact, he picked up 51 saves in the minor leagues. He reached AAA New Orleans Zephyrs with the Miami Marlins organization back in 2015. Pitched for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs last year and the beginning part of this year, as I mentioned in the pregame show. For the Rockers and overall this year, 5-3, 2.46 earned run average, 80 innings pitched, 70 strikeouts, 24 walks, and only 3 home runs allowed. So this is a guy who has very good control and keeps the ball in the yard. His last start against the Somerset Patriots on Sunday went 7 innings, gave up just 2 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk on just a shade over 100 pitches. So fantastic numbers for Craig Stem, not just on the season, but in his last start as well. So we're about ready to go here. Rockers and Blue Crabs, Rockers and Patriots. I was looking at the Blue Crab score there a moment ago. Rockers, Patriots, Kelly steps in. Stem gets set. Here is the first pitch of the evening to Scott Kelly. It's inside for ball 1. And we are rocking and rolling here at BB&T Point. Stem kicks and deals. Here's the 1-0. That's down low. And the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Again, the lineup for Somerset: Kelly, Kinger, Rosario, Paredes, Ullman, Rodriguez, Navarro, Kraus, and Gonzalez. Stem working the third base side of the rubber, deals that one in there. Strike 2-1. Rockers again wearing the road blues this evening with the red pants, the blue jerseys with the red lettering across the front with yellow trim. Letters are yellow on the back with the red trim. This one lined on a hop over to shortstop. Russell knocks it down but not able to make a throw, so it'll be an infield base hit for Scott Kelly to lead off this ball game, and that will bring up Will Kinger. Kinger, a .323 hitter, 14 home runs, 63 driven in. And here's the first pitch to Kinger. Lines this one into center field on the first pitch. That's a base hit. Back-to-back singles to start the first for the Somerset Patriots. Game time temperature here at BB&T Point, 80 degrees, mostly cloudy. It'll drop down into the mid-70s by the time we are finished. Not really any chance of rain, so we should be all right as far as precipitation is concerned. Somerset Patriots again wearing the gray pants, gray jerseys with the navy blue lettering and numbering and a red trim around it. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Just underway here at BB&T Point, and Stem deals first pitch down low to Olmo Rosario for ball 1. Rosario, .286 hitter, a home run, 3 runs batted in. Stem set, deals this one down low again, 2 balls and no strikes. Lights are already on here at BB&T Point. I mentioned mostly cloudy. You see a couple patches of blue in the sky, but a lot of clouds right now. Rosario fouls this one. Looks like it might have got a piece of his foot. And the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hector Gomez, the third baseman for the Rockers, playing pretty close to the line. Not playing to bunt, though. He's a couple of steps behind the bag. Runners take their leads off of first and second. Nobody out here in the first. Here's the 2-1. That's poked into right field. Coming in is Giovanni Alfonso. Slides. Can't make the catch. And runners will advance one base as Kelly had to hold up at second. It looked like Alfonso was going to make the catch, but he wasn't able to do so. So 3 straight singles to start this ball game. And Craig Stem, bases loaded with nobody out, and the dangerous Jimmy Paredes coming up. Paredes, a .240 hitter, 10 home runs, 37 batted in. Drove in the only run of the game for the Somerset Patriots yesterday with a hard hit double, but he just missed a home run the pitch before, so this is a situation where you certainly have to be careful. Stem deals this one lined off of Stem's glove, and everybody's going to be safe. An infield base hit off of Craig Stem, and they're going to go take a look at him to make sure he's okay. And certainly Jimmy Paredes, a guy that hits the ball just about as hard as anybody in this league. Not sure where it got him off of. He's looking down at his glove. I think he thinks he should have caught the ball. It's kind of the reaction that I'm getting from Craig Stem right now. And I think that's the explanation he gave to manager Jamie Keefe. Everyone seems satisfied. They'll head back to the dugout, but still a bit of an issue here for the Rockers as nobody out the first inning. Bases are still loaded. And here's Mike Ullman, the catcher, or designated hitter. He's listed as a catcher. .264 hitter, 9 home runs, 55 batted in. And Stem will deal. Ullman fouls this one. I think he fouled it off of himself. Stem picks up the ball, though, and throws home. And Kenger is out. I guess it's just the way the ball must have spun off of the bat, but the Rockers get the first out of the inning now. At the plate, score that one 1-2. Bases remain loaded with 1 out, and it'll bring up Alfredo Rodriguez, the shortstop, .264, 4 home runs, and 40 batted in. Stem trying to work his way out of some trouble in the first inning with just 1 run allowed. First pitch to Rodriguez, misses for a ball. Good-looking pitch, but it is 1-0. Rosario at third, Paredes at second as that pitch down low, and Ullman at first are the 3 base runners for the Somerset Patriots. 2 balls, no strikes. There's 1 out here in the first inning. Rockers trail 1-0. If they could get out of this inning and leave it at 1-0, that would be fantastic, but it's not going to be the case. This one lined into the gap in left center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Paredes, run number 2. They're waving around Kenger. The throw comes into Russell is short. Picks it up. The relay home is not cut off, but it's late. It is a bases clearing double off the bat of Alfredo Rodriguez, and just like that, it is 4-0 in the first, and still just 1 out. Alfredo Rodriguez lined that one into the left center field gap. And it is 4-0 in favor of the visiting Patriots. That will bring up Ray Navarro, .241 hitter, 5 home runs, 22 batted in. And here's the pitch. This one's golfed on the ground to short. Russell scoops it up, throws on to first in time, out number 2. As Rodriguez moves to third base on the play. Let's go ahead and set the defense for you. In left field, it's Richie Schaefer, Jared Mitchell in center, Giovanni Alfonso in right, Hector Gomez at third, shortstop Michael Russell, Tyler Ladendorf is at second, Stephen Cardulo at first, and John Nestor behind the plate for Craig Stem. Stem deals first pitch to Michael Kraus, And that's in for a ball, 1-0. Kraus, 240 hitter, 10 home runs, 25 batted in. This is a guy who's got some power. And Stem deals this one down low, 2-0. He's been pitching from behind to a lot of these hitters so far in the first inning. This one to Kraus, just missing inside. And Stem working quickly. Here's the pitch. That's popped up, and it will drift out of play. Foul ball, strike one. Home plate umpire today, Vincent Kracher. Nate Caldwell, first base umpire, and Derek Macha down the third base side. 3 balls and a strike to Michael Kraus. And Stem comes set. Here's the 3-1. That's up and in. Ball 4. The inning will continue with the number 9 man coming up, Yovan Gonzalez, the catcher.
The catcher, number 4, Yovan Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, a 264 hitter, 3 home runs, 25 driven in. Did not see him play in yesterday's game. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Stem. Curveball, up high, ball 1. Well, after 2 fantastic starts for Craig Stem, his first 2 starts in the Rockers uniform, the next outing number 3 here tonight, off to a bit of a rocky start. Here's the 1-0. That's fouled off. Back to the screen, 1-1. Still plenty of baseball left to be played. Nobody panicking here yet. Is worth mentioning again, though, Liam O'Sullivan, the starter for the Somerset Patriots, a better pitcher than his win-loss record indicates. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Gonzalez behind it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodriguez, the runner at third. Kraus, the runner at first. And Stem, 1 strike away from ending the first inning. He comes set. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gonzalez strikes out, but not before 4 runs cross the plate. The big blow, a 3-run double off of the bat of shortstop Alfredo Rodriguez. So it's Somerset 4, and your High Point Rockers coming to bat. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the first inning, Liam O'Sullivan taking his warm-up tosses for the Somerset Patriots. We'll introduce you to him. 5 wins, 9 losses, but a 3.11 earned run average. 23 starts in 23 appearances, 2 complete games, including a shutout. He's had a remarkable year. 106 Ks in 144 innings, 32 walks for Liam O'Sullivan. He has allowed 14 home runs. So for the Rockers, maybe trying to play the long ball game. They did it yesterday. At least Jared Mitchell sure did. He hit a pair of home runs in the Rockers' 5-1 victory And he's leading off the game today. It'll be Mitchell, Cardulo, Gomez, Lattimore, Schaefer, Russell, Ladendorf, Nestor, and Alfonso. The starting 9 for the High Point Rockers.
For your High Point Rockers, center fielder, number 29,
Jared Mitchell hitting .240, 11 home runs, 45 driven in. As we said in the pregame show, he hit home runs 10 and 11 last night. Also stole base number 30 last night. The right-hander O'Sullivan kicks and deals. First pitch to Mitchell. That is a ball up and away. Part of what I said, or what Jared said in the pregame show in the interview, was O'Sullivan deals the 1-0 and swung on and fouled up out of play 1-1. He said you've got to take advantage of the pitches he throws in the zone. He said that O'Sullivan's going to be around the zone. He's going to try to hit corners. So when he doesn't and he leaves one over the plate, you've got to take advantage of it. O'Sullivan deals the 1-1. Mitchell swings, hits this one high in the air to left field. Not very deep. Racing in is Rosario. Going out is Paredes and Rodriguez, but it's Rosario, the left fielder, who makes the catch for out number 1. Let's go ahead and set the defensive alignment for you. Olmo Rosario in left field. Center field, Scott Kelly. Right field, Michael Kraus. Jamie Paredes at third. Alfredo Rodriguez at short. Ray Navarro at second base. First base, Will Kenger. And Yovan Gonzalez is behind the plate. Here's Steven Cardulo. O'Sullivan kicks and deals. First pitch to Cardulo. That's up and in, ball 1. It's a big swing from Cardulo. Just got a piece of it. Fouled it back into the catcher Gonzalez's glove. Count 1-1. Fireworks tonight after the game. There were after yesterday's game as well, but the usual post-game fireworks on a Saturday here tonight as that pitch gets Cardulo between the shoulder blades, and the Rockers have their first base runner of the ball game in the form of Steven Cardulo as Hector Gomez comes to the plate.
number 6, Hector Gomez.
Cardulo taking his lead off of first. Rockers have Fan Appreciation Weekend going on all weekend, the final homestand of the regular season. Runner goes on the first pitch. He's safe as Cardulo. The ball goes out to center field, but Cardulo didn't realize it until it was too late. So a stolen base there for Steven Cardulo. Just missed a chance to go to second for more. Or go to third, I should say, but that is his 18th steal of the year, and the Rockers have a runner in scoring position with one out in the frame. O'Sullivan takes a long look in at Gonzalez, now comes set. Ready to deal to Hector Gomez, a .295 hitter. Cardulo dancing, getting a pretty good lead off of second base. Now O'Sullivan deals. Gomez swings, lines this one into right field. It's going to be caught by Kraus. The quick throw to second to try to double up. Cardulo is late. And so that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Quincy Lattimore. That sinking liner I thought had a chance to get down, but Michael Kraus covering a pretty good amount of ground there, did a nice job to make the catch. Two outs in the inning, I should say. First pitch here to Lattimore is a strike, and the count is 0-1. Fourth spot in the top of the first have put the Rockers in a early and fairly significant hole. Here's the 0-1, and that misses for a ball, 1-1. Rockers' magic number is 5 after the New Britain Bees lost the first of a doubleheader today, 7-5 to the Sugarland Skeeters. Here's the 1-1. That's down low. And the count now 2-1. So, if my math is correct, if the Rockers win again, or if the Rockers win tonight, would drop the number down to 4. And if New Britain drops the second, it would drop it again to 3. Here's the 2-1. That's down low. And it's now 3 balls and a strike to Quincy Lattimore. Regardless of what happens tonight, because the Bees lost the first game of the doubleheader, the Rockers' elimination number, or the magic number, did go down. So regardless of what happens tonight in their nightcap or the Rockers game here, they did shave off a game off of the elimination number. And you got to remember, too, the Somerset Patriots are playing for their playoff lives right now. If the Rockers win tonight, Somerset's out. Here is the 3-1. Big swing there from Lattimore. Maybe just got a piece of it, fouled it off. The count is now full as Quincy was looking to put the Rockers on the board and cut this one in half. Pretty healthy crowd here on a Saturday night. A lot of people here. Glad to see them all. And glad to have you joining us on YouTube and Spreaker, whichever medium of choice you're going with tonight. Here's the 3-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. As O'Sullivan comes set, chest high, the right-hander looks back at Cardullo as Cardullo tries to extend his lead. He's about a third of the way down, takes off. Here's the 3-2. Time was called by Quincy Lattimore right before the pitch. The pitch even came all the way in, but timeout had been called. O'Sullivan paying a lot of attention over there to Stephen Cardullo at second, who, as I mentioned the previous pitch, probably about a third of the way down the line. Runner goes again. Here's the 3-2 and fouled off. And we'll do it again. Cloudy skies out in right field and center field. It looks a little clearer as you look over the awning down the third base side over the concourse. Looks a little better out that way. Here's the 3-2. Cardullo goes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air into left field, but settling under it is Rosario. And he will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So the Rockers get a man aboard, but not able to bring him in. We go to the second. It's 4-0 in favor of the Somerset Patriots. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Everybody else point at them and go, you should have been here before. In all seriousness, you guys saw some of the videos earlier today from our players, some of our staff. We seriously want to thank you guys for making this weekend and this season so incredibly amazing. And to be 100% honest for you guys, there's one fan I want to call out in particular, not so much because of what they've done for the Rockers, but because of what they've done for me. Steph? Steph? Come here. Come here. Do you remember the start of this season when we turned the lights on, I wrote you a note the next morning that said, Thank you for letting me do something so big professionally to make it worth it personally. This is how worth it is. Stephanie Ann Sterl, will you marry me? Oh God, it fits. What the fuck? Hey, the mic is on.
Nice moment on field as the assistant general manager, Christian Heimel, just got engaged down there. So congratulations to them. Wishing them all the best. Rockers need a little bit of the best here in the top of the second inning. They trail 4-0. And the Patriots will have the leadoff man, Scott Kelly, stepping into the box first as they batted all 9 hitters in the top of the first inning. The big blow, a 3-run double by shortstop Alfredo Rodriguez. As they're working on the ABS system that's attached to the home plate umpire, trying to get him all situated. Maybe a little tech issue there, but looks like it's all been resolved and we're ready to go in the top of the second. Craig Stem looking to bounce back after a rough start to this ball game. Scott Kelly singled and scored his first at-bat. Sim ready to begin top of the inning number 2, and he does so with a fastball strike. That's one thing that Craig Stem's going to have to do if he's going to get back into this game and go deep into it is get ahead in the count. He was throwing from behind a lot in the first inning, a lot of 2-0, 2-1 counts as there's a little check swing foul down the first base side. And the count 0-2. This is where Craig Stem needs to be pitching from, ahead in the count. Rockers took game 1 of this series yesterday. They've won all 3 in the homestand and their last 2 of the road trip last weekend. So that's where the 5-game winning streak comes from, as this pitch down and away 1-2. Rockers are playing Kelly pretty much straight up here. Hector Gomez a step or 2 behind third base. Not really expecting him to bunt here, it doesn't look like. Here's the 1-2. That's down low. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelly, a .234 hitter, no home runs. He's driven in 16. And a fastball head high backs Kelly off. And the count now full. So Stem has gone from 0-2 to now 3-2. And here is the 3-2. Kelly pops this one into shallow right field. Giovanni Alfonso drifts under it and puts it away out number 1. That'll bring up Will Kinger. Also singled last inning. He was retired at the plate, though, on a ground ball back to Craig Stem. Still plenty of time in this one. So we're in the top of inning number 2. Stem's first pitch to Kinger in there, strike. Maybe it'll be a case like yesterday when the Patriots scored in the first inning, but the Rockers pitching held them scoreless the rest of the way. Here's the 0-1 to Kinger. That's fouled off behind the plate and out of play, and the count is 0-2. I think Miles Schroeder from the Rockers dugout was positioning the outfielders a little bit. 0-2, Kendra swings, hits this one into left center field. Jared Mitchell, the center fielder, glides into the gap and makes the catch, out number 2. So a much better start to inning number 2 for Craig Stem. Olmo Rosario comes up now. Singled and scored last inning. Stem just now crossing over 30 pitches, so if he can retire Rosario for a 1-2-3 inning, he certainly is, at least pitch count-wise, giving himself a chance to go 6 innings. Rosario goes around too far on the first pitch, and the count 0-1. Stem holds the set. Here's the pitch. This one's going to be hit on the ground to short. Russell picks it up on a hop. Moves a little to his left. The throw on to first in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning. A nice bounce back for Craig Stem. We go to the bottom half of inning number 1. And when we come back, batting in the number 3 spot for the Rockers this inning, oh yeah, that's Tyler Ladendorf. Looking forward to seeing him make his Atlantic League re-debut, return, whatever you want to call it. Ladendorf batting third. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Left fielder Richie Schaefer steps in as the Rockers come to bat for the second time tonight, down 4-0. Craig Stem looked night and day different from the first inning to the second as he put up a 0 in the top of inning number 2. Rockers going to try to chip into that deficit a little bit. Schaefer shows bunt, pulls back, doesn't matter. It's a strike, and the count is 0-1. It's a saying that I have used on more than one occasion. Don't have to get all 4 runs back right off. Just try to get 1 or 2 here and there and to set yourself up at the end of the game as that pitch is down low for a ball. I mean, if you get all the runs, great. If you get them all early on, but especially with a guy like Mike Antonini lurking in the Somerset bullpen as the closer as Schaefer takes a strike 1 and 2. You definitely want to go into the bottom of the ninth, if it comes down to that, down just a run if you can manage it as opposed to down 4. Here's the 1-2 to Schaefer, and that's going to be a fastball away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Schaefer, Russell, and Ladendorf. I look down as Ladendorf's at the top of the steps wearing his old familiar number 9. And here's the 2-2. Just missing. Good eye there from Schaefer. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Schaefer out in front of it, but he gets a piece and is lofted up out of play down the first base side. And the count will remain at 3 balls, 2 strikes. O'Sullivan kicks, deals curveball up high. And that's ball 4. The Rockers have their leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up the shortstop, Michael Russell. Russell, 296. Went 0 for 4 last night, but had 2 hits the night before. 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. He did have a sacrifice fly yesterday. Takes strike 1 to begin the at-bat. And here's the 0-1. Russell hits this one on the ground to short. Rodriguez sliding, stop to second for 1. The throw to first is in time. Another close play at first involving Michael Russell. And here comes Tyler Ladendorf making his return. Looking forward to seeing the reaction and the reception he gets here as he steps to the plate.
Welcome home, 2019 Atlantic League All-Star, second baseman, number 9, Tyler Ladendorf.
Yeah, nice reception there for Tyler Ladendorf. Certainly glad to have him for the postseason push. He takes a strike. 272 hitter before heading to the Durham Bulls. 12 home runs, 42 driven in. And here's the pitch from O'Sullivan. That's down and away, and the count is 1-1. Rockers still looking for their first base hit in the ballgame. Here's the 1-1. Ladendorf, a big swing on a pitch down, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. They've had 2 base runners in this game, but both of them reached via the bases on balls. Cardullo hit by a pitch in the first as Ladendorf swings, hits this one, and the second baseman, Navarro, can't pick it up cleanly. Ladendorf reaches. We'll see how that one's scored. Well, the Rockers have another man aboard here with 2 outs. That'll bring up the catcher, John Nestor. Nestor hitting 1 for 8 with 2 RBIs. So that's going to be scored in E4. So the Rockers still looking for their first hit of the ball game. And here's the pitch. Nestor pops this one up out of play down the first base side. And the count 0-1. May have been an error, but it was a nice job by Ladendorf with 2 strikes. Going with that pitch and made decent contact going the opposite way. Here's the 0-1. Nestor will take ball 1, and the count 1-1. Ladendorf, while he was here, again, I mentioned 8 for 8 in stolen bases, so not the fastest, but a guy who could run. Nestor, a big swing and a miss, and the count is 1-2. Liam O'Sullivan, a pitch-to-contact pitcher, as he's done just that through the first 2 2/3. Here is the 1-2. That's a fastball up head high, an easy take for Nestor, and the count is 2-2. Getting a little darker here as we're in the bottom of inning number 2. Probably have to flip the lights on here inside the end of this half inning. Here's the 2-2. This one's popped up down the right field side. It's getting out of play. And the count holds steady, 2-2. Rockers lead this series 9-8 after last night's victory. Nestor again fouls this one off, this time down the third base side. It's no surprise, though, Somerset came out with the intensity they did in the first inning. They know that a loss tonight eliminates them from the playoffs, so they're fighting for whatever slim chance they still have. And here's the 2-2. Nestor fouls this one off behind the plate and out of play. You're doing a really nice job battling Liam O'Sullivan, making him work. As O'Sullivan's coming up on pitch number 35 here. Here it is, and Nestor again fouls it off. Somerset's got a pretty good bullpen, so when you chase the starter out of the game, it's not necessarily a sure thing that you're good to go at that point. A lot of teams, you want to knock the starter out and get to a bullpen, but Somerset has a good bullpen as this pitch fouled up out of play again. Nestor really making O'Sullivan work. Next pitch will be number 10 of the at-bat. Two balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. Nestor chops this one on the ground to first. Kinger will take it himself for the final out of the inning. So a nice 10-pitch at-bat by Nestor is ultimately won by the pitcher Liam O'Sullivan. We go to the top half of inning number 3. Rockers trail 4-0. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Top of the third, and it will be 4, 5, and 6 for the Somerset Patriots, who have a 4-0 lead over the Rockers. Jimmy Paredes, Mike Ullman, Alfredo Rodriguez, the 3 hitters coming up.
Leading off for the Patriots, third baseman, number 38, Jimmy Paredes.
Paredes, an RBI single his last time, a little chopper that didn't really get out of the infield. But nobody really had a play on it as he swings and misses strike 1. Craig Stem's bounce back inning last frame was a good sign as he spikes the fastball on the count 1-1. Stem works third base side of the rubber, comes set. Here's the 1-1 to Paredes, off-speed pitch, and Paredes just got a piece of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a guy that has a lot of power, and he has got the Rockers to the tune of 4 home runs this year as Stem backs him off the plate. And the count now 2-2. 4 of his 10 home runs this year have come against High Point. Paredes swings and fouls this one back to the screen. And the count remains 2-2 at the end of the third inning. As we transition into the fourth, we'll, of course, take a look, as is tradition, at the Atlantic League standings and see just what the scenarios are for the Rockers. Here's the 2-2, Paredes fouling this one off. And the count remains 2-2. Just a little bit of a breeze out there. Checking at the flags in left center field. It's heading towards left field. Off-speed pitch. Paredes hits a weak ground ball to second. Ladendorf charges in, picks it up, throws. Nice play. As Ladendorf throws off balance on the move to retire Jimmy Paredes for out number 1. That'll bring up Mike Ullman, reached on a fielder's choice and scored. That, of course, also coming back in the first inning. First pitch breaks into the zone for a called strike to Ullman. Ullman, of course, made it to the major leagues with the Texas Rangers. Here's the pitch, and that misses down for a ball. Ullman, that was back in 2017, actually made it with the Toronto Blue Jays, but he came up through a couple systems, drafted by Baltimore, and then spent some time in Toronto, Boston, and Texas. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ullman. And Stem kicks and delivers off speed well inside, and the count 2-2. After a rough start, Stem has retired 5 in a row. Just trying to put a few zeros up on the board and let the Rockers get back into it. They're still looking for their first hit of the game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Mike Ullman for out number 2. That's strikeout number 2 for Craig Stem. Here is Alfredo Rodriguez, who is responsible for the big blow so far tonight, a 3-run double. Stem set. Here's the pitch. And that is a called strike at the knees, 0-1. It's the final Saturday fireworks here at BB&T Point in 2019. That pitch misses down for a ball. And the count 1-1. Tomorrow, of course, a 2 o'clock start time. We'll go on the air just a shade before, about 1:50 or so. Here's the 1-1. This one's popped into shallow center field. Charging in is Mitchell. Now he breaks down as he's got a play on it. And he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So back-to-back 1, 2, 3 frames for Craig Stem as he looks to be settling in nicely. We go to the bottom of the third. Rockers trail by 4. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the third inning, and the Rockers will start off with Giovanni Alfonso. And then back around to the top, Jared Mitchell and Steven Cardullo. Giovanni Alfonso, as I mentioned in the pregame show, hitless yesterday, but had a couple of hits the night before. So he's hitting at .234 now with 28 batted in. And here's the first pitch from Liam O'Sullivan. just missing with the first offering, 1-0. Well, the Rockers kind of struggled with David Holmberg the first time through yesterday and then seemed to figure him out the next time. So maybe it'll be a similar case as Alfonso lines a base hit into left field. First hit of the game for the Rockers. And the leadoff man aboard. And in the third for the leadoff man in the lineup coming up now, Jared Mitchell. We'll see if he can continue his hot streak that he's had yesterday, or at least started yesterday. Well, even the night before, when Mitchell went 0 for 3, hit some of those balls really hard. It's been coming for a while that Jared Mitchell might get hot and ride a streak for a little while. Shows bunt, pulls back, it's down low, ball 1. Alfonso, a guy who can run over there at first base. It's 4-0 in favor of the visiting Somerset Patriots in the bottom of the third. 1-0, Mitchell chops this one, a high one over to Kinger at first. Throws to second, Rodriguez makes the catch to retire Giovanni Alfonso. There will be no relay back to first. To score that one 3-6, and the fielder's choice for Jared Mitchell. That'll bring up Steven Cardulo. Was hit by a pitch and stole a base in his last at-bat. Mitchell at first, obviously with 30 steals this year, a guy who can run as well. Cardulo 259, 20 home runs, 66 batted in. O'Sullivan holding the set, now deals fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Mitchell takes his lead off of first. And here is the 0-1 to Steven Cardulo. Swings and lofts this one up out of play overhead down the first base side, and the count 0-2. This is the first time the Rockers have allowed more than 3 runs going back a couple of series. They didn't against the Barnstormers. Runner goes, pitch is high. The throw down to second, not in time. A stolen base for Jared Mitchell, number 31. And the count 1-2 to Cardulo. Rockers didn't give up but just 1 run yesterday. Not a whole lot against the Barnstormers. They didn't score off of the Rockers in the second game of that series, I think, or just 1 run off the first. The last of that 3-game series against Somerset last weekend, the Rockers pitched a shutout, gave up 3 runs the day before and 1 the day before. So Rockers pitching has been nothing short of brilliant over the last calendar week or so. Here's the 1-2 to Cardulo. O'Sullivan kicks, steals off-speed pitch. He's got Cardulo way out in front. Pop fly in the infield, drifting now with the first baseman Kinger into foul territory, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Hector Gomez, flied out to right field his first at-bat. Gomez has been one of the Rockers' best hitters in the second half. 3-hit game yesterday with an RBI. He has 72 on the year. Mitchell, a pretty good lead off of second base. They're not really holding him on there. And the first pitch fastball to Gomez, that's in there called strike, and the count is 0-1. Again, if you're the Rockers, just try to get something back here. Chip away while you can. Gomez swings, hits this one high in the air to center, but not deep, and settling right under it is Scott Kelly. He'll put it away for the final out of the inning. So we'll take a look at the standings in the Atlantic League. Long Island Ducks leading the Liberty Division 38-23. The Bees 6 behind at 32-29. The Rockers 7 out at 31-30. So really these two teams, while they mathematically could still win the division, not really playing for it at this point. It's all going to come down to the wild card. You see the Somerset Patriots 16 games back at 22-39. Which, again, I want to mention a Rockers win tonight, if they come back and win, would eliminate Somerset from postseason play. York Revolution leading the Freedom Division. Skeeters 4.5 back as they dropped another one yesterday. They did win the first of their doubleheader just a few moments ago, so they are now 32-29. That game just went final about 30 minutes or so ago. Blue Crabs 30-31. They're 6 games out. And the Barnstormers bring up the rear at 23-38. So again, this is the situation. A win tonight for the Rockers eliminates the Blue Crabs. Or excuse me, eliminates the Patriots. Now, the situation with the Bees. The Rockers had a 6-game magic number going into play today. The New Britain Bees lost their first game of a doubleheader against the Somerset Patriots the Sugarland Skeeters by a 7-5 score. That cut the Rockers' magic number down to 5. The Skeeters are leading game 2 of that doubleheader, just started, but it's 1-0. That would cut it down to 4. Now, if the Rockers come back and win tonight, their magic number would drop again to 3. If not, it would sit at 4 as long as Sugarland would hold on to win the game. So basically the point being, the Rockers have already shaved 1 game off of their magic number down to 5 as the first pitch to Ray Navarro misses for a ball. So it could be anywhere from 5 to 3 by the end of the evening. One-0 pitch hit on the ground to Ladendorf at second. Picks it up, throws on to first. And that's out number 1 in the top of the 4th. Michael Kraus comes up. He walked his first at-bat. I know we're throwing a lot of numbers at you talking about standings. The point being, though, the Rockers have a shot of locking up a playoff spot at home. And the events of today, both here and in New Britain, would go a long way into increasing the likelihood of that as Michael Kraus shows bunt and misses for strike 1. Be fun to see, especially potentially on Monday night, if things work that way. If not, it'll get interesting. As that pitch down low, and the count 1-1 to Kraus. Why would it get interesting, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. It's because the Rockers, if they do not clinch here at home, go to New Britain for a 3-game set. Big swing and a miss by Kraus there in the count 1-2. Stem gets the sign, working quickly. Here's the pitch. That one down in the turf. An easy take there for Kraus. And it is 2-2. Rocker defense pretty much playing Kraus straight up. Right-handed hitter. Here is that 2-2. And that's just inside. Count goes full. Line score 4-5-1 for the Patriots, 0-1-0 for the Rockers. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Michael Kraus retired via the punch-out. And that'll bring up Yovan Gonzalez, the catcher. Nine straight retired by Craig Stem after a rough start to the ball game. But he certainly has settled in nicely. And he's just at 57 pitches right now in the 4th inning as this pitch fouled up and out of play for strike one. Gonzalez, a strikeout victim to end the first inning. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Well, now the Rockers seem to have the pitching figured out tonight. It's up to the offense to try to figure out Liam O'Sullivan. This pitch flied out into right field. Alfonso is there and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So 3 straight 1-2-3 frames for Craig Stim as he looks good now. We go to the bottom half of inning number 4. Rockers trail by 4. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, guys.
This is Keith
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of inning number 4, Rockers have Lattimore, Schaefer, and Russell, the 3 scheduled hitters. They trail 4-0 against the Somerset Patriots in what could basically be considered an elimination game for the Patriots. And they're certainly playing like their backs are against the wall. We'll take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard report here in just a moment. First pitch to Lattimore will miss ball 1. Game 1 of a doubleheader between the New Britain Bees and the Sugarland Skeeters. Bees had a 4-1 lead as Lattimore fouls this one off, but a 6-run inning put the Skeeters back on top, and they would come back to win 7-5. Game 2 of that twin bill is underway right now as this pitch to Lattimore down low, 2-1. 1-0 Sugarland as we're in the middle of inning number 2. A sacrifice fly from Dennis Phipps has given the Skeeters an early edge. York Revolution, Lancaster Barnstormers, no score in that contest as the 2-1 is up high and the count is now 3-1. And then the Long Island Ducks, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Ducks up 2-0. In the 4th, as Lattimore chops this one on the ground to short, Rodriguez picks it up, throws onto first in time for the first out of the inning. L.J. Mazzilli, a base hit for the Ducks, and a wild pitch allowed Steve Lombardozzi to score. And so that is how the Ducks have gone ahead 2-0. Again, that game in the middle of the 4th right now. We'll keep an eye on those as we progress throughout the evening. Again, the New Britain Bees are the team of interest right now from across the league. This pitch to Schaefer to start off the inning will miss down low, ball 1. A pitch in there for a strike, count 1-1. And here is the pitch. That's up high. Schaefer rotated the shoulders, but the bat stayed back. So 2 balls and a strike for Schaefer. The only hit for the Rockers so far, a base hit by Giovanni Alfonso last inning. Here's the 2-1 to Schaefer. That pitch almost the exact same location, exact same result, and the count 3-1. Schaefer walked his first at-bat. Here is the 3-1 to him. Taken all the way there, he started heading to first base. But it is a called strike. Count goes full. Michael Russell waits on deck. Here's the 3-2 coming to Schaefer. As O'Sullivan kicks in deals, here it is. And that's going to miss ball 4. So Richie Schaefer does work the walk just 1 pitch later than he originally thought. And the Rockers have a man aboard. Here comes Michael Russell, bounced into a double play his first time. Russell hitting at .295. Rockers already with 7 men left on base tonight. Somerset is stranded 6. Russell swings, hits this one out in the air to left field. That's caught on the first pitch by Rosario. For out number 2, here comes Tyler Ladendorf. Reached on an error his first time. Ladendorf, a guy who has already worked himself into Rocker lore, if you will, in the first season. A walk-off home run earlier this year. A game-tying home run with 2 outs later on in the year. Both off of some pretty big-name closers in the league, too. First pitch to Ladendorf, a strike, and the count 0-1. So this is a guy who the Rockers love having in the clutch, a guy who comes through, a guy who thrives in pressure situations. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to miss, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Wouldn't quite say it's a pressure situation yet, but down 4-0 as you're in the middle stages of the game. Certainly starting to feel like, all right, about time to get things going. He swings and misses there, count 1-2. But how about Craig Stem? Already got to talk about the way he's bounced back and retired 10 straight. After the first inning he had, Ladendorf fouls this one down the third base side on a high chop. And the count will remain at 1-2. John Nestor, the catcher, waits on deck. O'Sullivan comes set. Schaefer takes his lead off of first. Here's the 1-2. That's a fastball. Strike 3. They're going to ring him up looking. So the 1-out walk to Richie Schaefer doesn't lead to a run. And we go to the top half of inning number 5. Rockers trail 4-0. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Top of the fifth inning, top of the lineup for the Somerset Patriots. Rockers trail 4-0. Scott Kelly, Will Kinger, Olmo Rosario, the three scheduled. And Craig Stem deals first pitch to Kelly, strike. Kelly singled and scored his first at-bat, flied out to right field his second at-bat. And here is the 0-1. That's down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rockers' 5-game winning streak in jeopardy here as we approach the middle stages of the game. Here's the 1-1. That one just missing off the corner. And the count 2 balls and a strike. Stem comes set, ready to deliver the 2-1 here to Scott Kelly. Here it comes, and that one a called strike, almost the same spot as the previous one. Just happened to catch the corner of the zone. Kelly swings, fouls that one off. And the count remains 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Kinger waits on deck. Curveball that did not curve. It stayed up around head high and had a trajectory in towards the head of Scott Kelly. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tipped it into the glove of Nestor for out number 1, and that is strikeout number 4 for Stem.
First baseman, number 7, Will Kinger.
Here comes Will Kinger, singled his first at-bat. Was thrown out at the plate trying to score in the first. First pitch to Kinger, a strike. That pitch in there, a called strike. So Craig Stem has now retired after that strikeout. He has retired 11 straight. And here's the 0-2, swung on. That's popped up out of play. Down the third base side, Hector Gomez just turned and looked at it, didn't even bother chasing after it as it cleared the concourse awning. Here's the 0-2. Kinger swings, lines this down the right field line in towards the Rockers bullpen. It is foul. And the count remains 0-2 as Kinger trying to battle with Craig Stem. Kinger, a .324 hitter. Here's the 0-2, swings and fouls this one yet again down the right field side. Four 0, top of the fifth inning as we approach the halfway point of this ball game. Here's the 0-2. It's down and in, trying to get Kinger to chase. He does not do so. And the count 1-2. Rockers, a team that like to do a lot of their scoring late as Kinger again fouls one off. We've seen some lengthy at-bats today. Nestor had one, and I want to say Ladendorf had one earlier. Here's the 1-2, swung on, and that's going to be hit weakly on the ground to Ladendorf at second. Picks it up from the side. Quick throw on to first in time to retire Kinger, who was motoring down the line. That's out number 2, and that'll bring up Olmo Rosario. He's 1 for 2 this evening. Rosario hitting an even .300. Guy who's just playing in his 9th Atlantic League game. So you'll see his batting average rise and fall drastically with the result of each at-bat. First pitch, a ball up high, 1-0. Stem comes set, ready to deliver the 1-0 pitch here. That's just inside. It clipped Rosario. So that will end the streak of 12 consecutive hitters retired by Craig Stem. He worked from the final out of the first inning all the way to 2 outs in the 5th without a base runner. That was pitch number 76 there for Stem. That'll bring up Jimmy Paredes. He singled in 2 trips, also has a RBI. Rosario takes his lead off of first. Here's the pitch to Paredes. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one down out of the zone. And the count 0-1. It's a guy you never really want to face with a runner on base, but with 2 outs, at least if you're Stem, you don't really have to worry as much about that runner. Just focus on the hitter. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Paredes took a mighty hack at it, but could not get the timing right, so 0-2. And Stem is in the driver's seat. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch swung on. Fastball was hit out in the air to right. Schaefer is drifting back, makes the catch on the track for out number 3. So Craig Stem's consecutive hitters retired, I should say, streak ended, but he puts up the 4th straight scoreless inning. So we go to the bottom half of inning number 5. Rockers trail 4-0. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the fifth inning, first pitch to catcher John Nestor, a called strike from Liam O'Sullivan. It is Nestor Alfonso, and back to the top with Jared Mitchell. Here is the 0-1 to Nestor. He takes that one down low, and the count is 1-1. Rockers trail 4-0 in the bottom of inning number 5. Kendrick Fruits here with you. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, Spreaker, and those of you here at the ball game. Here's the pitch. Nestor swings, fouls it straight back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. All right, fifth inning. That means it's time for this day in baseball history. Bunch of really cool things happening on September the 14th. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes John Nestor for out number 1. Here comes Giovanni Alfonso, singled his first at-bat. 1968, a nationally televised game. Denny McLain picks up win number 30, 3-0, as the Tigers rally for 2 in the ninth inning to beat Oakland 5-4. Finishes the year 31-6, and he's the first 30-game winner since Dizzy Dean in 1934, and is the last 30-game winner to date. First pitch to Giovanni Alfonso is a strike. This one, little unusual. Bob Brenly, of course, eventually become a major league manager for the Diamondbacks as Alfonso flies this one out to right field, and that's hauled in and caught by Michael Krause, out number 2. Brings up Jared Mitchell. Bob Brenly moved to third base for a game and committed 4 errors in a single inning at third base. He does hit 2 home runs, including a game winner walk-off 7-6 win for the Giants, but 4 errors in that game. 1990, Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Jr., the first father-son duo to homer in the same game as they go back-to-back off of California Angels pitcher Kirk McCaskill. First pitch to Mitchell, that's in there, called strike. And if you want to talk no-hitters, we got one of those too. In 2008, the first Chicago Cub pitcher to throw a no-hitter since Milt Pappas in 1972. It's Carlos Zambrano, a 5-0 no-hitter. Is that pitch fouled off? And the count 0-2. The Astros playing a relocated game at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Why is that? Because the Brewers were out of town, and the Astros had to move because of Hurricane Ike battering the Texas coast. So the count 0-2 to Mitchell as O'Sullivan's retired the first 2 this inning. Here's the 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So a real quick 1-2-3 frame for Liam O'Sullivan in the 5th. We head to the 6th inning. Rockers still trail 4-0. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten, here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Top of the sixth inning, Mike Ullman leading things off for the Somerset Patriots. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Ullman, Rodriguez, and Navarro. That's hitters 5, 6, and 7 for Somerset here. Craig Stem at 82 pitches in the sixth inning, and gotta say, he's absolutely looked good since that first inning. Ullman fouls this one off down the first base side, and the count is 0-2. Ullman tonight is 0 for 2, swings and misses, strike 3. That's his second K. Brings up Alfredo Rodriguez. He's 1 for 2. Again, had that 3-run double back in the first inning, and so far that's been the big blow of the ball game. Craig Stem's really rebounded in the first inning. You thought maybe the Rockers would have to go to the bullpen early, but he's looked really good as this game's gone on. Deals that one in there, called strike. 5 strikeouts for Stem now. Just 1 base runner since the first inning. Off-speed pitch, that's a good one, but it just stays off the plate. Count is 1-1. Stem comes set, this one down and away. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Take a look at your big league scoreboard report. A lot of games going on today. Obviously, it's a Saturday, so good day to come out to the ballpark. As Stem just missing their 3-1. Couple games already final. The Atlanta Braves beat up on the Washington Nationals by a count of 10-1 today. Mike Foltynewicz picks up win number 7. And the Atlanta Braves have clinched a postseason spot as that one in there for a strike. Count goes full. So Atlanta is in the playoffs regardless of what happens the rest of the way at this point. Cubs thumping the Pirates. You thought the Braves score was bad. 14-1 Cubbies. As this one's fouled off by Rodriguez. Count stays 3-2. Kyle Hendricks win number 11. Chris Bryant, a 2-run home run. The Twins shut out the Indians 2-0. Littell picking up his 5th win. Mike Clevenger, a tough luck loser. After Jorge Polanco, a 2-run home run, the only scoring in that one. Strike 3, looking back-to-back Ks for Craig Stem as Alfredo Rodriguez knew it. He turned around and headed back to the dugout before the signal was given. Here's Ray Navarro, who's 0 for 2. Also final, the New York Yankees, 5 home runs today. And they take down the Toronto Blue Jays 13-3. Brett Gardner hit a pair to lead the onslaught. Here's the first pitch, lined into right field. Alfonso not being able to get to it, so that's a base hit for Ray Navarro. A 2-out single here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Michael Krause, who's 0 for 1, and also a walk. Games in progress right now. Bottom of the 2nd, the Indians and Twins playing a doubleheader. It's 2-2. Rosario, a 2-run home run for the Minnesota Twins. They're just in the 2nd inning. Top of number 7. In Detroit, the Tigers lead the Baltimore Orioles by a count of 2-0. Red Sox and Phillies, top of the 4th inning. No score in that one. First pitch to Michael Krause misses for a ball. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phillies and Rodriguez for the Boston Red Sox. Top of the fourth, Dodgers-Mets scoreless game. Jacob deGrom making the start for the Mets. Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Dodgers. What a year Ryu's had. Swing and a miss there for Krause, count 1-1. Cardinals lead the Brewers 2-0 in the third inning. And the Astros and Royals scoreless in the third. Zach Greinke dueling for the Houston Astros. A's and Rangers just about to start. Reds and Diamondbacks just about to start, as this one's fouled back in the count 1-2. Padres and Rockies about to start. And then later on tonight, Marlins and Giants. Madison Bumgarner making the start for the Giants. Rays, Angels. Tyler Glasnow, what a great year he's had while he's been healthy for the Rays. Making the start for them. And the White Sox and the Mariners. Dylan Cease and former Cy Young winner Felix Hernandez. Here's the 1-2. That's popped up. Cardullo drifting over. Will he have a play? He looks up at the screen, and he doesn't as that ball gets out of play. And the count will remain 1-2. Stem is at 96 pitches, so most likely finished here after 6. But again, he's really rebounded nicely after a rough start, and cannot stress that enough, how much better he's looked. Runner goes. Here's the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen, and they're going to return Ray Navarro back to first base. Taking another real quick look at the Bees and the Skeeters. The Skeeters have scored again. They now lead 2-0 in that one. They're in the top of the fourth. Anthony Giansanti, home run number 9. Here's the 1-2 to Krause. That's way inside. Nestor has to go pick it up. And they've got the runner in a rundown. Cardullo throws to second. Now Ladendorf back to Cardullo. Cardullo back to Ladendorf. And Ladendorf's going to apply the tag. And that will retire Ray Navarro on the bases. So score that one 2-3-4-3-4 for the final out of the 6th inning. And we will head to the bottom of inning number 6. Rockers still trail 4-0. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Number 65, Stephen Cardullo.
Bottom of inning number 6, it'll be Stephen Cardullo, Hector Gomez, and Quincy Lattimore coming to bat for the Rockers. Rockers trail. It's 4-0 here at BB&T Point. First pitch from O'Sullivan to Cardulo. Swings, hits this one a long way deep into left. Rockabye baseball. That one might have cleared customs. That's how far Stephen Cardulo hit that one. And the Rockers are on the board with a solo shot, the 21st of the year for Stephen Cardulo. And the Rockers have cut the deficit now to 3. Absolutely turned on it. That a high fastball off the bat of O'Sullivan, or out of the arm of O'Sullivan. That'll bring up Hector Gomez now. As you pick up that run, still nobody out in the inning. So now you start the inning basically just down 3. And maybe that's all the Rockers needed to get started. As that pitch to Gomez just missing in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gomez has flied out both of his at-bats, once to left, once to right, once to center. And here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss there, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gomez. Well, again, all you had to do as a pitcher was just keep your team in it. Keep the Rockers in it until the offense started to come around, which they always tend to do right about this time. Gomez swings, hits this one down into left field, or right field rather. That'll get out of play. And the count remains 1-2. For Cardulo, also RBI number 67 off of that solo home run. Gomez swings, hits a soft flare into left field. That'll get down over Rodriguez's head. And so it's a single for Hector Gomez. Rockers showing signs of life here in inning number 6. That'll bring up Quincy Lattimore with 2 on. Lattimore 0 for 2 tonight, hitting .259, 21 home runs, 66 batted in. Rockers starting to stir. 3 hits now in the game, 2 of them this inning. And O'Sullivan deals first pitch, a fastball up, and the count 1-0. We'll see how O'Sullivan reacts here, or responds after giving up that home run and the single. That pitch, a strike to Lattimore at the knees, count now even at 1-1. With that base hit for Hector Gomez, we should note that he's raised his average up to .296. Legitimate chance to get to .300 by the end of the year. Lattimore swings, hits this one a mile high, but not very deep at all as it's drifting into shallow center field, called for by the second baseman Navarro, and he will make the catch for out number 1. So here's Richie Schaefer. He's walked both times. And obviously, the Rockers know he can leave the park, but he's also just as valuable as a base runner, especially when you have guys like Russell and Ladendorf behind him. Sure, the Rockers would love to see him get a hold of one, but they'll take him on the base paths as well. Here's the pitch to Schaefer, and it's a fastball that misses the zone, 1-0. Liam O'Sullivan at 83 pitches in the bottom of inning number 6. That one a called strike to Schaefer, 1-1. Schaefer hitting .244, 26 home runs. That leads the team, 68 RBIs. That's top 3. Big swing and a miss there, 1-2. O'Sullivan looks in, gets the sign from Gonzalez. Gomez taking his lead off of first. Here's the pitch. Schaefer lines one foul down the third base side. Count will remain 1-2. Just a little bit of a breeze here this evening. We're in darkness. Obviously, the lights are on, but sunset probably 40-ish minutes ago. Schaefer swings, fouls this one off, and the count remains 1-2. Michael Russell waits on deck. It was a little more than 40 minutes ago. The official sunset time, 7:29, so it was about 45 minutes ago. Here's the 1-2 to Schaefer. That's a fastball up, and the county's even at 2. Line score 4-6-1 for the Somerset Patriots, 1-3-0 for the Rockers. 2 of those 3 hits have come here in the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Schaefer. O'Sullivan kicks and deals. Schaefer fights this one off down the first base side. It will get foul. Thought for a moment the first baseman, Kenger, might have a play, but that ball was out of his reach. Here is the 2-2 again to Schaefer. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 2.
The shortstop, number 4.
That'll bring up Michael Russell. Russell 0 for 2. After tonight, just 2 more home games remain for the Rockers. That pitch to Russell, a strike at the knees. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock start time and a 6:30 start time on Monday night on this wraparound series. Russell takes that one, another called strike, 0-2. Family fun day tomorrow. Kids can run the bases after the game and get there early to get your Rockers team photo. Runner goes. Here's the 0-2. The throw down to second is a good throw from Gonzalez in time, and they have caught Hector Gomez stealing for the final out of the inning. So the Rockers pick up 1 on the leadoff home run from Steven Cardullo. It's now 4-1 in favor of the Somerset Patriots. We go to the 7th. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Top of the 7th inning, and the Rockers go to the bullpen. Excuse me. It is Sam Runyon coming in to pitch. 3-2, 4.91 ERA. 43 strikeouts in 51 innings. He's given up 5 home runs, only walked 9. Runyon, an all-star in the Atlantic League in 2019. Second half has been a little tough for him. But through most of July, he had been absolutely fantastic, but started struggling a little bit recently. Runyon will deal with Kraus, Gonzalez, and Kelly, so that's 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup for the visiting Patriots. Timeout called before Runyon delivers his first pitch. So we can close the book on Craig Stem. And again, you have to remember the way that this game shook out for Stem. First inning gave up 4 runs before there was even 2 outs recorded. Here's the first pitch. That's in there for a strike. So 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. If you take out that first inning, you're looking at 5 shutout innings from Stem as Runyon deals a strike, nothing in 2. He looks good at the beginning of his outing. So again, just kind of take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, you can't just erase those 4 runs in the first inning. As a check swing, they're going to look down and say that Krause did not go around. And as of right now, those are still 4 big runs as the Rockers trail by 3. But point being that Craig Stem really got dialed in after that and fixed whatever issues he was having and ended up having a respectable outing. Here's the 1-2, and that's strike 3 looking, so Sam Runyon looks good to start off the top of the 7th inning. Strikes out Krause looking. Second strikeout for Krause tonight, and that'll bring up Yovan Gonzalez. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Runyon kicks and deals. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. That's in there for a strike as well. He's not wasting time. He's going after the hitters and throwing strikes and going to force them to swing the bat, although Krause did not do so. Here's the 0-1. Chopped on the ground to third. Gomez has to back up, picks it up, and fires across the diamond to first in time to retire Yovan Gonzalez for out number 2. That'll bring up Scott Kelly. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Back at the top of the order for Somerset, center fielder, number 2, Scott Kelly.
I don't mean to continue harping on it, but how big would it be for the Rockers to come back in this game and potentially shave off 3 games off of the magic number? It was 6 before today. It's 5 right now. This one inside to Kelly. Midway through the game, the New Britain Bees trail Sugarland 2-0. So that could potentially get it down another to 4. Here's the 1-0. That's down low, 2-0. And if the Rockers can figure out a way to come back in this game, could cut it even further to 3. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Ladendorf scoops it up and fires on to first base for the final out of the inning. So Sam Runyon, a really quick inning. I think he only threw 9 pitches, a 1-2-3 frame. And we go to the bottom half of inning number 7. Looks like we'll see Liam O'Sullivan again here in the 7th. Rockers trail 4-1, looking to build off of the run they got last inning. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Rockers have Russell, Ladendorf, and Nestor, the three hitters. Russell, of course, was hitting when Hector Gomez was thrown out at second base trying to steal and into the inning. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen. I believe it's Kyle Hansen throwing. So despite only needing 10 pitches, it looks like Sam Runyon's evening will be over quickly. But hey, he did his job, and he looked good doing it too. Michael Russell swings, first pitch, hits this one into right field, and flagging it down is Michael Kraus, out number 1. So Michael retires Michael. We go to Tyler Ladendorf now, 0 for 2 in his return to the Atlantic League.
Second baseman, number 9, Tyler Ladendorf.
Pitch count now for Liam O'Sullivan is at 94, so I would expect this to be his last inning of work. O'Sullivan kicks, deals first pitch to Ladendorf. He takes, and that's a called strike. John Nestor waits on deck. Bottom of the Rockers lineup. Not a whole lot of production from them tonight. 1 for 9 from the final 4 spots as that pitch misses for a ball. But again, you think about it, the Rockers do only have 3 hits on the night, so not getting a whole lot of production top to bottom yet. Down 3 runs, they have 8 more outs to do something about it as Ladendorf takes that one for a strike at the knees, and the count is 1-2. O'Sullivan kicks and deals this one down in the turf, and the count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes for Ladendorf, who, again, as we mentioned, making his return in the Atlantic League tonight after spending some time in AAA with the Tampa Bay Rays, the Durham Bulls. Pretty easy trip for him to make, I would assume. Here's the 2-2 off the end of the bat to short. Rodriguez picks it up. He's going to have a close play at first. It's in time to retire Ladendorf, out number 2. That will bring up John Nestor, Rockers' backstop tonight. He's 0 for 2 tonight, which by my count makes him 1 for 9 as a High Point Rocker. Excuse me, 1 for 10, I should say. But I tell you, that one was a big one, a 2-run single a couple of days ago. As the first pitch to Nestor, a strike. And here's the 0-1. He hits this one on the ground to third. Paredes picks it up. The throw on to first in time. And if that's it for Liam O'Sullivan, what a night he had. A 1-2-3 inning to end it in the 7th. Rockers are going to go to the bullpen. Looks like Kyle Hansen. It is 4-1 in favor of the visiting Somerset Patriots. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of No Filter Friday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Rockers go back to the bullpen top of the 8th inning. It's Kyle Hansen making his way out to the mound, and John Nestor goes out to meet him and talk about some of his pitches. I think John Nestor's a guy who, again, he's new to the Rockers, doesn't know a whole lot of the pitchers yet, or doesn't know what all they all throw. Each of them throws, I should say. Kyle Hansen having a good year, 0-1, 2.38 earned run average. This is appearance number 21 for Hansen. 13 strikeouts in those 22 innings, so not a guy who's going to blow you away with strikeouts, but opponents hitting just 171 off of him. Hansen's 3 hitters that he will have to face: Kinger, Rosario, and Paredes, 2, 3, and 4. Will Kinger has reached base in 9 straight games, including, and he's also reached in 39 of his last 40. Goes back to August 2nd. And he is the Triple Crown leader, easy for me to say, Triple Crown leader on the club for the Somerset Patriots as he paces the team in average, home runs, and runs batted in. So, Kyle Hansen ready to deliver here to Will Kinger. Top of the 8th inning. And here's the pitch. Kinger slams this one on the ground to Ladendorf. A hot shot. He picks it up, throws to first in time to retire Kinger. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th. That'll bring up Omar Rosario. He has a hit and 2 trips. He's also walked and bounced out to short. Lefty up in the bullpen as Rosario shows bunt, pulls back, but it's a called strike. Lefty in the pen for the Patriots. Here's the 0-1 from Kyle Hansen. Another off-speed pitch will drop in there, 0-2. He's quickly ahead. Seven strikeouts from Rockers pitchers tonight. As timeout is called, Hansen 1 strike away from getting number 8. Looks in, gets the sign from Nestor, and here's the 0-2. Swung on, that's hit in the air to center field. Ranging over Jared Mitchell, he's got it for out number 2. We'll take our final look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. With the exception, of course, I will keep an eye on the New Britain Bees game as we go. Skeeters have actually just doubled their lead in that game. We'll start with it. It is 4-0 in favor of Sugar Land in the 5th inning. So the Rockers might be getting a favor from Sugar Land as their magic number could be cut down to 4 at the end of this doubleheader. First pitch to Jimmy Paredes down low for a ball. York Revolution, a 2-1 lead over the Lancaster Barnstormers, and the Long Island Ducks have a 2-0 advantage in the bottom of the 7th inning against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Paredes swings and fouls this one up out of play down the third base side, and the count is 1-1. Hansen kicks in, deals 1-1. Paredes slams this one on the ground towards center field, but Ladendorf picks it up. The throw is off the mark as Cardullo tried to stretch and hold on to it, but he could not. Good job by Nestor to back that one up. That's going to be a throwing error on Ladendorf, I would assume. And it is going to be an E4, I believe. That'll bring up Mike Ullman. The inning continues now for the Patriots. Ullman 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Hanson's just thrown 7 pitches so far. This one chopped on the ground to short. Michael Russell has to charge in, picks it up, throws on to first in time for the final out of the inning. So pretty clean outings for both Sam Runyon and Kyle Hanson. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockers need to get something going. They got 6 outs to make up 3 runs. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
The host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth, co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the 8th inning, new pitcher for the Somerset Patriots. That is Luis Cruz. 2 and 4, 3.55 earned run average. 3 saves and 7 opportunities, 56 strikeouts in 50 innings, 12 walks, 6 home runs allowed. Fantastic inning. Fantastic outing, I should say, for Liam O'Sullivan. 7 innings, 1 run ball, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts for Liam O'Sullivan.
Now pitching for Somerset, number 9, Luis Cruz.
So the Rockers in the bottom of the 8th will have 9, 1, and 2. Alfonso, Mitchell, and Cardulo. Giovanni Alfonso, 1 for 2, a base hit his first time. Now he steps in. And here's the pitch. That's in there called strike from Luis Cruz to start the bottom of the 8th. Cruz working quickly, delivers this one. It's an off-speed pitch down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jared Mitchell waits on deck. Had a big night yesterday with a pair of home runs. We'd love to have Gio get on and have Mitchell do what he does as Alfonso swings and misses. And the count is 1-2. Cruz comes set, about head high, and the lefty kicks and deals 1-2. That's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Luis Cruz from San Juan, Puerto Rico. 29 years of age. Just had a birthday, actually, a couple of days ago. September 10th, so happy late birthday to you, Luis Cruz. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alfonso. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's the first out of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Jared Mitchell, who's 0 for 3 today. Although he did reach on a fielder's choice. And consequently would go on to steal a base. Here's the first pitch from Cruz to Mitchell. He swings, lines this one into left field. It's dropping, and it does get down for a base hit. So Jared Mitchell is on with a one-out single in the 8th inning. That brings up Steven Cardullo, the man who launched a home run earlier tonight. I don't think that ball has come down yet, the one that Cardullo hit back in inning number 6. That was his 21st home run of the year. We'll see if they send Jared Mitchell here. He's a guy that obviously has plenty of speed, and you can get out of the double play situation. Excuse me, that's just the 4th base hit the Rockers have managed tonight. Here's the pitch to Cardullo, and it just misses ball 1. Cardullo's been a very steady hitter throughout the course of the years. That one is a ball 2-0. In fact, he is, with his 21st home run there, climbing the leaderboard a little bit on the home run chart anyways. Moves into a tie for 6th. The count is 2-0. His teammate Quincy Lattimore also on that list. Richie Schaefer 2nd in the league. Big swing and a miss there as Cardullo drops down to a knee. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike, I should say. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen, so it'll be single inning outings for both Runyon and Hansen. This pitch down low, 3 balls and a strike. Rockers wouldn't mind just getting a base runner and having 2 on, which would send the potential tying run to the plate in the form of Hector Gomez. We'll see if Cruz gives Cardullo something good to hit here. He asks for time and is given it. And here's the pitch. That's down low, ball 4. Cardullo works a walk. And the Rockers now have men on first and second with 1 out. That'll bring up Hector Gomez, the tying run. This has become a huge inning for the Rockers. It already was, but you can tell that if the Rockers want any chance, they've got to come out of this inning with some runs. Maybe you just get 2, but you've got to come out of this inning now with guys in scoring position. You've got to score. First pitch to Gomez, a called strike. He had to scoot out of the way of that one. Looked well inside. But it's a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Quincy Lattimore waits on deck. Mitchell, the runner at second. The runner at first is Cardullo. Here's the 0-1. That's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockers trail by 3, but the tying run at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Swings, drives this one into center field. It's going to be caught there by Kelly. Mitchell will go to third. So with 2 outs, now a runner at third base. And that'll bring up Quincy Lattimore. Lattimore, obviously a guy who does most of his damage with 2 outs. In fact, about half of his RBIs have come with 2 outs this year. All it takes is 1 pitch for Quincy to pick on it and tie this one up. Cruz comes set. Here's the first pitch to Lattimore. That's a ball away. Obviously, the Patriots know that Quincy Lattimore is a dangerous hitter. They will have to pitch him carefully. Here's the pitch. He swings, lines this one down the line. It's foul. That one would have been a double in the corner and probably would have scored 2. So he hit it hard, but it curled foul, and the count 1-1. Cruz gets the sign and comes set, ready to deliver the 1-1 to Lattimore. Here it is. That's a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Rockers 1 strike away from not being able to cash in on an opportunity with a runner at third. Would feel like a big missed opportunity to not get at least 1 here. Cruz comes set. Here's the 1-2 curveball. That is in the dirt, 2-2. Trying to get Quincy to chase, but Quincy shows a very strong eye at the plate and would not go for it. Richie Schaefer waits on deck. Cruz comes set. Here's the 2-2 to Lattimore. 2 runners on. Here's the pitch inside, ball 3, and the count is now full. 1 bad one loads the bases, but also 1 strike gets Cruz out of the inning. Here's the 3-2. That's down low, ball 4, and the Rockers have loaded him up for Richie Schaefer. The fans have come to life here at BB&T Point as they know that Richie Schaefer has a chance to be the hero in the 8th inning. Rockers have a couple of guys in the bullpen. I think they just got Ryan Kelly up just in case. I tell you, if Richie Schaefer could find a little magic here, he's walked twice and struck out. Here's the pitch, and that's in there called strike. Just 4 offensive outs remain for the Rockers to make up a 3-run deficit. All 3 of those runs currently supplied on the base paths. Here's the pitch, down and away, 1-1. So it's now quite literally in the hands of Richie Schaefer as he stands at the plate with a 1-1 count. Hit a grand slam a week ago today against the Patriots. Could he do it again? He goes around too far there, and the count 1-2. He knows he chased it, but the Rockers fans cheering their support for Schaefer in a big moment. Schaefer steps in. Mitchell, Cardullo, and Lattimore, the 3 base runners. Cruz comes set. Here's the 1-2. Schaefer, swing and a miss, strike 3. The Rockers load the bases, but cannot score. And we go to the 9th inning now. The final score, or the score as we go to the 9th inning, I should say, is the Somerset Patriots 4, your High Point Rockers 1. High Point going to the bullpen. Looks like it's Chris Pennell. So we'll introduce you to Pennell when we come back. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Chris Pennell on the mound for the Rockers, top of the ninth inning. Somerset with a 4-1 lead. Chris Pennell's numbers on the year, 2-1, 2.84 ERA. This is appearance number 9. He's made 7 starts, 23 strikeouts in 38 innings. Opponents hitting just .203 off of him. Recently, with the additions of Brownell and Stem, you also have Van Meter, Edwin Carl. The Rockers have had just a bunch of different pitchers to choose from as far as starters go. So Pennell needing a little bit of work, and first pitch is a called strike to Alfredo Rodriguez. This pitch swung on, fouled up out of play. Nothing in 2 to Rodriguez. This one down in the turf, and the count 1-2. His 3-run double is currently the deciding factor in this game. Here's the pitch. He reaches out and pokes it foul. And the count remains 0-2. Somebody up in the bullpen for the Patriots. I assume it's Mike Antonini, the closer, would make sense. Here's the 0-2 from Pennell. That's up and in. The 1-2, I should have said. Just about plunked Rodriguez. So the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we're in the top of the ninth inning. This one hit on the ground towards third. Gomez picks it up, throws on to first in time. That's out number 1.
Second baseman, number 21, Ray Navarro.
Brings up Ray Navarro. He is 1 for 3. But was retired on the bases back in the 7th inning. And the first pitch from Chris Pennell misses for a ball. So again, the Rockers back in action tomorrow against these same Somerset Patriots. That one in their first strike. 2 o'clock start time. We go on the air just a touch before on YouTube and Spreaker as that pitch misses 2-1. We go on at 2 exactly on My 48. So if you're near a television set that has My 48, then more than welcome to tune in there as that pitch is swung on and fouled back. And the count 2-2. Line score 4-6-1 for the Patriots, 1-4-1 for the Rockers. Here's the 2-1. That's fouled. Back in the count 2-2. So Chris Pennell started out as a starting pitcher for the Rockers. They've kind of bounced him to the bullpen a little bit, but he's responded whatever roles they've asked him to fill. He has done a nice job with them. As again, Navarro fouls this one off. And the count holds 2-2. This one popped up in the infield. Hector Gomez and John Nestor are going to go for it. It's going to be the catcher, Nestor, who puts it away. Had to squeeze it tight. for out number 2. That brings up Michael Kraus. Kraus 0 for 2 is also walked. Yeah, after the first inning, the Rockers have put together 8 shutout innings. They're 1 out away from doing that. It's exactly what they did yesterday as well. 8 shutout innings after giving up a run as Kraus swings and misses strike 1. They're going to need a little magic in the bottom of the 9th inning, though, down by 3. Pennell kicks and deals. This one misses, and the count 1-1. Rockers will have Russell, Ladendorf, and Nestor, the 3 scheduled hitters, 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. 1-1, Pennell. Curveball stays up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Still keeping tabs on the New Britain game. They're in the middle of the 6th inning. Remember, they're playing 7 because it's a doubleheader. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and the count 2-2. So the Bees have 6 more outs to make up 4 runs there. Here's the 2-2. Did he go around? They did. He's not even going to have to check on him, as that one is strike 3. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Will there be magic at High Point tonight? We'll find out in just a moment. Mike Antonini, I expect, will come in to pitch to try to close this one up. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, guys.
This is Keith.
And Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Michael Russell steps in at BB&T Point, bottom of the 9th inning, and the Rockers trail by 3. The closer, Mike Antonini, steps in for the Somerset Patriots. Antonini 2-4, 1.97 ERA, 26 saves in 31 chances. But the Rockers have gotten to him once already this year. First pitch to Michael Russell misses, ball 1. It's Russell, Ladendorf, and Nestor. Fans waving around the rally towels, willing on their team to try to get something going here in the 9th inning. It's 2 balls, no strikes to Michael Russell. The tough thing about it, when you look back at the last inning, is the fact the Rockers had the bases loaded and could have had the deficit be a little less than what it is, but it is 3 runs that they're going to need as Antonini has missed high again. 3-0 to Russell. I mean, it sounds kind of silly to say, but you would certainly think 2 runs or 1 run would be easier to get than 3 here. 3-0 in there for a strike, 3-1. But wishing doesn't get you anywhere, and the fact of the matter is it is a 3-run deficit in the ninth. Here's the pitch, up and in, ball 4. So the leadoff man is aboard. Here's Tyler Ladendorf. He's been a part of some theatrics here in ninth inning drama. Rockers have not had a walk-off in a while. In fact, I want to say they didn't have one in the entire month of August, or at least not since the first month of it. So maybe tonight could be the night. Antonini comes set. Here's the first pitch to Ladendorf. He holds the set, now delivers. Big swing and a foul back to the screen, and the count is 0-1. 6 pitches, just 2 strikes for Mike Antonini in the ninth inning. Russell, a speedy guy, but most likely will not be running here as base runners are a premium right now. Here's the 0-1 to Ladendorf. That one just missing in. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is Nestor. Then the number 9 hitter, Giovanni Alfonso, would be next. And here is the 1-1. Ladendorf takes it down low. And the count 2-1. He committed a throwing error earlier on in the game. Did not lead to any runs, but is 0 for 3 tonight in his return to BB&T Point. Rockers would love to see him pick up a base hit here. He's in a hitter's count, 2-1. Antonini kicks and deals. Ladendorf hits this one high and foul. I think it's going to get out of play. They shouldn't have a play on it. They being the left fielder Rosario and the shortstop Rodriguez. It does get out of play, and the count is 2-2. So after Ladendorf, Nestor's also 0 for 3. Alfonso 1 for 3 behind him. Antonini kicks and deals 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ladendorf is down for out number 1. That'll bring up the catcher, John Nestor. Nestor's got power. He's hit 16 home runs for the Cleburne Railroaders this year. Russell takes his lead off of first. Giovanni Alfonso on deck, the tying run. Nestor taking strike 1 at the top of the zone, and the count is 0-1. Russell takes his lead off at first. Antonini looks like he's figured out his control issues there in the first inning, or the first at-bat. He was struggling with that one, a called strike, as Nestor thought it was well inside. The count 0-2. Antonini comes set. Here's the 0-2 to Nestor. Off-speed pitch, that's in the turf. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Nestor 1-for-11 here at High Point since joining the team. What was that, Wednesday, I guess it was his first game? Rockers are down to their final 2 outs. Down by 3. Antonini comes set. Russell takes his lead off of first. And here is the 1-2. Nestor fouls this one down the third base side. Nice barehanded catch there by manager Jamie Keefe, who mans the third base coaching box. Tomorrow's game, a 2 o'clock start time. Zach Dodson going for the Patriots, 2-2 record. Matt Sergey for the Rockers, 3-2 record. Here's the 1-2 to Nestor. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Rockers down to their final out. That'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso. And then the Monday's series finale, Tyler Cloyd going against Joe Van Meter. Which I'll go ahead and just give away a little sneak of the podcast that we have coming up this week. It's Frank Viola, pitching coach of the Rockers, and he did tell us during that interview, which will be released on Monday, that Joe Van Meter will start game 1 of the playoffs for the Rockers. Here's Giovanni Alfonso swinging and fouling off the first pitch. And the count 0-1. Rockers down to their final out now. Antonini looks in to Gonzalez, gets the sign, comes set. Here is the 0-1. Just about got Alfonso as he went down into almost push-up position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rockers still needing base runners with 2 outs in the 9th. If Alfonso can find a way to get on, the next guy, Jared Mitchell, could leave the park. Here's the 1-1. Alfonso way out in front, just might have nicked it with the end of his bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the Rockers down to the final strike of the game. Alfonso adjusts his helmet, steps back in. Michael Russell takes his lead off of first. Antonini comes set. Here is the 1-2 to Giovanni Alfonso. Kicks and throws. Curveball stays way high over Alfonso's head. An easy take, and it's 2-2. A reminder, tomorrow, Family Fun Day, team photo giveaway, so get there early to make sure you can pick up those Rockers 2019 team photos. Fireworks after this game tonight. Here's the 2-2. Alfonso lines this one into left field, and the Rockers aren't done yet. Alfonso's second base hit of the game. And for the second inning in a row, the tying run comes to the plate, this time in the form of Jared Mitchell.
Center fielder, number 29, Jared Mitchell.
As Yovan Gonzalez goes out to speak with Antonini, wants to have a quick talk. So again, fireworks tonight, Family Fun Day, kids run the bases, and team photo giveaway tomorrow, Monday. Closet clear out, any promotional items, I guess I should say, that you wanted to grab one of but maybe didn't or weren't able to. Anything that we have left over is fair game on Monday. One per fan, one item per fan. First pitch, Mitchell swings, lines this one into center field. That's a base hit. Michael Russell getting waved around. He will score. The throw's coming into third where Alfonso slides safely. Jared Mitchell continues it in the ninth inning. Rockers now trail 4-2. Alfonso heads up base running to go to third. Michael Russell scores. Jared Mitchell, another good night at the plate. And that'll bring up Steven Cardullo. The tying run is at first in the form of Jared Mitchell. Steven Cardullo has 1 home run already today. And this place has erupted as the Rockers cheering on Steven Cardullo, imploring him to keep this inning going, or better yet, end it and send the fans home happy. No doubt that this city loves its team, and they've embraced them fully in its first season. Here's the pitch to Cardullo. Swings, pops this one up, and it gets out of play. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen right now, getting ready just in case we go to extra frames. Alfonso, the runner at first. Mitchell, the runner at... Alfonso, the runner at third. Mitchell, the runner at first. They both have plus speed. Antonini comes set. Here's the 0-1 to Cardullo. Kicks and deals. Swings, lines this one into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Rosario cuts it off. The throw's coming into third. Mitchell slides. He's safe. Jared Mitchell's safe. He almost overslid the bag, and now the tying run stands at third. Another base hit for the Rockers. Steven Cardullo comes through, and here comes Hector Gomez. Great base running by Jared Mitchell. The tying run now 90 feet away from the plate. Hector Gomez comes up. He's 1 for 4. The Rockers showing some resiliency here in the bottom of the 9th inning, but the work is not over yet. They still need 1 to tie. Hector Gomez hitting .295. As Yovan Gonzalez calling out some of the signals for the fielders. Mitchell leads off third. Cardullo leads off first. Antonini deals first pitch to Gomez. That's up and in, ball 1. If Gomez is able to continue the 9th inning, Quincy Lattimore would be the next man up. Here's the 1-0 from Antonini. That's up. 2 balls, no strikes now. There is a base open, but you really don't want to have to face Quincy Lattimore either. You're in that spot of the Rockers lineup where if you pass one guy to get to the next guy, it doesn't necessarily get easier for you. 2 runs already across in the 9th inning. Antonini set. Here's the 2-0 to Gomez. That's a called strike, 2-1. Cardullo, the runner at first, most likely not running. Mitchell takes his lead off of third. Here's the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch to Hector Gomez. Swings, lines it. Soft liner to Rodriguez, makes the catch, and that will do it. The Rockers so close to tying this one up and potentially taking the lead, but Gomez lines out, and that will end the ball game. But the Rockers made it interesting tonight. Final score 4-3 in favor of the visiting Somerset Patriots. What a game this turned out to be. What a great pitching matchup we got today. Obviously, Craig Sims struggled a little bit in the beginning. The Somerset Patriots started the game 4 consecutive singles. Jimmy Paredes would score Scott Kelly on an RBI single, the 4th of those. Mike Ullman on a fielder's choice would retire Will Kenger, but then Alfredo Rodriguez with the bases loaded, a double. All 3 runs come in to score in the first inning, and it's 4-0 at that point. Fast forward to the 6th, the Rockers, Steven Cardullo leads off the inning, a solo home run off of Liam O'Sullivan, and the Rockers on the board 4-1. We got to give a shout-out, though, to Craig Stem. Not his best outing tonight. Struggled in the first inning, but really, really turned it up in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. He ended up going 6 innings, only allowing just a handful of base runners after that first inning. Rockers, at that point, go to the bullpen, and they do their job. 7th inning, it's Sam Runyon. No runs, no hits. 8th inning, it's Kyle Hansen. One guy reaches on an error. He doesn't score. 9th inning, 1-2-3 inning for Chris Pinnell. Bottom of the 9th, Rockers down by 3. Michael Russell gets on. A couple of outs later, it's 2 outs, and Alfonso singles. Mitchell singles and scores a run. Cardulo singles and scores a run. So it's now 4-3 at that point. Hector Gomez hits a liner, but it's snagged by the shortstop, Alfredo Rodriguez, and that is how today's game ended. A final score of 4-3. Well, if you're the Rockers, you got to look at Chris Stem's start really as a tale of not two cities, but I don't know how else to say it. A rough start, but he really bounced back and looked good from that point forward. You look at Liam O'Sullivan, a guy who's pitched fantastically this year, a guy who is much better than his win-loss record indicates, and he showed you why today. The Somerset Patriots, with the win, stay alive in postseason contention, as the magic number for them still remains at 2. The New Britain Bees are trailing 4-0 in the 7th inning to the Skeeters. If they lose, the Rockers' magic number will be 4. It's currently sitting at 5. Also, another thought about tonight as we wrap things up here at BB&T Point. Again, the team showed that they are resilient. They came very close to picking up another win. This is a team you cannot count. You cannot count them out, at least until the final out is recorded, because they scored both of their runs in the 9th inning with 2 outs. So this is a team that they really believe that one guy comes up, does their job, next guy. They believe that they can all come through and come back and win these ball games. So hopefully that's a mentality that will carry them deep into a postseason run. So final thoughts here tonight. The Rockers drop it by a final of 4-3. Winning pitcher Liam O'Sullivan, 6-9 on the year now. Craig Stem is the losing pitcher. He drops to 5-4. Mike Antonini picks up save number 27. So again, the Rockers drop this one by a score of 4-3. The series is now tied by it's a number of 9 wins apiece with 2 to go. So the season series still up for grabs as these two teams will battle it out tomorrow and Monday to finish it out. We'll be back on air 1:50 tomorrow for a 2 o'clock start time. For our fantastic crew down the line and everyone here at High Point Rockers Baseball, I'm Kendrick Fruits wishing you a rockin' evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.